You got to be in condition to get up these steps here. Good thing I work out.
In these messages delivered to ministry leaders, Bill Hull says that the primary call on a leader's life is to be a good example, that what you are becoming as a person will determine your influence.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer spent a lot of his life trying to teach people that faith is discipleship. That if you have faith, it leads to discipleship. It means that I'm a follower of Jesus for all of my life, through all the seasons of my life. Not just through 16-week program, not just in the first year of my spiritual life, not just when I went to spiritual boot camp, but it's something for all of my life.
Leading from the inside means that it's more important to be a disciple yourself than to have a master plan to make disciples.
The problem that many have been taught and believe that you can become a Christian without becoming a disciple. He says, I get it. I get it. You mean people can just say they believe something and not do it? I said, yes. He says, aha. I thought we could have saved a lot of time. I mean, this is one sentence. And I told him that the problem seems to be that our gospel we teach makes discipleship optional. It's like, for example, you go out and buy an automobile. Now, it's still this way, but it was more so years earlier. You'd say, well, now, do you want the white sidewall tires? Do you want the special wheel covers? Do you want the GPS, the power windows, the air conditioning, all the stuff, the moon roof, the little fin on the back? Those are options. And so, for many, becoming a Christian is, I get the basic car, but I want options. So discipleship is optional. Following Jesus is optional. It's not part of what it means to be saved. And I can tell you this, that discipleship is not an essential part of Christianity in the West today. In fact, you can get saved in our country and never really ever have to deal with discipleship. A tepid response is the deadly enemy of discipleship. Bonhoeffer said, in fact, that we should find it, this cheap grace, and drive a stake through its heart. He was passionate about it. We must not make cheap what costs God everything.
Bill explains the reasons why Christianity without discipleship is always Christianity without Christ. When we lose the ability to disciple people, we have lost the opportunity to teach people deeply.
Something's really wrong. Because we do all these activities. We have all these programs. I've written all these books. I got these charts and these graphs, and aren't they pretty? Come and see, come follow me, come be with me, remain in me. 101, 201, 301, 401. You can be anything you want. You just have to learn the song. And so that was what I was, it was there. But I said, I feel like I'm fly fishing on ice. That I could do that here today, couldn't I? And cast out my line, and the lure goes slap. And so I reel it back in, and I cast it out again. And it goes zap. And I can see through the ice. I can see it. I can see transformation. I can see people changing their lives. I can see the church getting outside of the church and being the church. I can see people everywhere we live, work, and play that we're the kind of people that are influencing other people for Christ, and that we're seeing fruitfulness, and we're seeing the hand of God at work in so many ways, and we're not just stuck here in meetings. I can see that. I can see it, but I can't get through the ice. I said, our discipleship is superficial. We're doing the right things. We're finishing curriculum. But we're like on a treadmill.
The three messages are, 1, how I got to this point, Bill's personal story of transformation. 2, the call to the life. and 3. The habits of the life.
God gave His life. Now, if I follow Him, it costs me my life. Now, this cheap thing about, just serve the Lord here and there, give Him a little money here and there, give Him a little piece of your estate for the seminary or the denomination, that's piecemealing it. That's not what this is about. This is not about a negotiation. It's about surrender. We choose the life because Jesus Himself chose it. That life of humility, submission, obedience, and sacrifice. Jesus was a man for others. We as His followers then live for others. And the church exists for others. You want a happy church? Have a church that exists for others. That way we don't have to think about all that stuff like how much we liked the worship or didn't like the worship. I mean, what are we going to do with a generation of people that were trained to evaluate their spiritual life by how much they enjoyed the worship service? I love the story about the two people that came out of worship. Two men. One said to the other, I didn't really care for that. And his friend said, that's all right. We weren't worshiping you.